Imagine waking up to gas prices that double overnight because of a single decision thousands of miles away. Right now, the world is holding its breath as Iran's parliament signals support for closing the Strait of Hormuz, the most critical oil choke point on the planet. Why does this matter to you? Well, about 20% of the world's oil and gas flows through this narrow waterway every single day. If Iran blocks it, the shockwaves won't just hit Wall Street, they'll shake every corner of Main Street too. Here's what's happening. The Strait of Hormuz, squeezed between Iran and Oman, is like the aorta of the global energy system. Oil tankers pass through this channel constantly, feeding energy-hungry economies from Asia to Europe. Iran has threatened to close the strait before, but this time, lawmakers are reportedly pushing hard, and tensions have already flared after U.S. airstrikes took out 3 Iranian nuclear sites. The stakes? Monumental. Let's break it down. If Iran actually moves to block the strait, oil prices could skyrocket instantly. Even just the threat is enough to send markets into a frenzy. Think about those price jumps at the pump after a hurricane, but on a global scale. A real long-term closure would be like cutting off the world's energy lifeline. The last time something like this was even threatened, during the Iran-Iraq tanker war in the 1980s, it sent global forces scrambling and forced the US Navy to deploy warships just to keep oil flowing. Why would Iran risk it? Maybe as leverage, maybe as retaliation for sanctions or military strikes. But here's the catch. Closing the strait would hurt Iran too, since its own economy depends on oil exports moving through those same waters. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio called it economic suicide for Iran and warned of a swift, forceful response, not just from the U.S., but also from major trading partners like China that rely on that oil. So what's the world doing to prepare? The U.S. Fifth Fleet is stationed nearby in Bahrain, ready to protect shipping lanes. Other countries have built emergency oil reserves, and some, like Saudi Arabia and the UAE, have constructed pipelines to bypass the strait altogether. But those alternatives can't handle the full load. Diplomats are scrambling to cool things down, but the pressure's on, and the sense of urgency is real. For now, everyone's watching and waiting. Will Iran actually close the Strait of Hormuz and send global oil markets into chaos? Or will international pressure and the threat of massive retaliation keep the world's oil artery open? One thing's certain, whatever happens next, it's going to impact your wallet and the world in a big way. Stay tuned for updates, because this showdown is far from over.